Hello and welcome to Sovereign RPG. We are back in Infinite Lagrange today. We're going to be talking about the update. We're going to have a look at the patch notes for Infinite Lagrange this week. There's some pretty decent changes, some quality of life stuff, and a few things that have needed to be fixed since the beginning, since the game actually launched. So we're going to go through that today, and we'll start off with the new changes. So first up, they have adjusted the warp drive rules for fleets. So before, when you would be mid-warp from one operation to another, say you had an operation inside of someone's outpost and you were warping to another outpost somewhere else in an operation there. If you cancelled that first operation to make space for new operations, maybe to move to somewhere else once you get to that point, it would actually drop you out of warp. Now they finally fixed that. So basically when you cancel, you can cancel that first one as long as you have gotten out into warp. If you've engaged warp, then you can cancel that first operation. If you haven't engaged warp and you cancel that operation, you will just cruise speed all the way to your next destination. It's a good change. It was always annoying. It confused a lot of people, especially at the beginning when we first started, when the game first launched. It took some getting used to, but we again eventually got used to it, but now it's actually been fixed out of the game. It's a good change. They've adjusted the rejoining of Union cooldown during the first phase of a star system's exploration. So within the first 48 hours of a new server starting, so if you're in season 2 or season 3, or you're starting on a new server, in those first 48 hours you can rejoin and join up with different unions, so you can find out what you really want within the first 48 hours, because you can leave and rejoin another one in 30 minutes and every 30 minutes. So you can actually find out what ones, because usually in the first 2 days you can see which ones are going to start growing and growing further, and you can see which ones are dying. It's actually a good change for those people that get stuck in a union. Now after that 48 hours, the cooldown will be back to 24 hours again, so make sure you're finding the union that you want to be in within that first 48 hours, because then you'll have to wait 24 hours after leaving, and you can be just attacked by anyone if they see that you're not part of a union in those 24-hour cooldown. They've adjusted the lineup of city defense fleet. The ship combinations of city defense fleets located in radiation areas will be changed into that one that can pass through their surroundings with the fleet level unchanged. So the difficulty will still be there, but they've changed what ships will actually be in there, ones that can handle the radiation level. But that's only available on newly launched servers. So when you go into the next season, that will become available on that server. It won't be coming in straight away. So if you're halfway through a server, these changes won't be added to that actual server until you move on to the next season or start on a new server. We have some game balance changes. They've adjusted the 2 same enhancement options: aircraft emergency repair, 2 armor anti-blast enhancement, and the battle radar enhancement respectively. After adjustments, the tech points spent will go back on, so you can put them back into whatever you want to put them into. And they've added new quests issued by Space City. We still haven't heard anything about the pathing situation. I'm hoping there's actually going to be something done to that fairly soon, because it's actually holding a lot of progression back for a lot of people, and it's pushing a lot of people away from the game. So hopefully that is on the roadmap to be sorted. Some of the bug fixes, they fixed some unit numbers that were calculated wrong, and it generated an extra storage module. So they've changed a lot of the storage capacity of some of the ships. So the AC721 is not going to be as good as it used to be when you put the points into the storage capacity. And they've lowered the storage capacity of the AC721 heavy logistics destroyer. They've changed that from 18,000 to 15,000 and lowered the amount you get from actually upgrading the storage capacity. I don't know why they thought they had to change this. The ships are only useful to sort of mid-game, and then you would only be using the largest, and you won't need to use those A721s anymore. But there must have been a reason for them to change it. They fixed the misplaced description to the weapon system enhancement option for full firepower. The ashes of Eris heavy cannon on the Eris 1 heavy cannon destroyer and non-primary weapons of the Quar, the railgun destroyer, should not benefit from this enhancement option. The ship's actual strength in combat remains unchanged after the adjustment, so there's going to be no changes to its actual use in combat, but they have sorted that out. They fixed a bug with the exploration campaign quest failed because targets were defeated by other explorers. It will no longer be failed if you're on the way to the quest and get accidentally attacked by, because of the way the game works with a system where if you're flying through in cruise speed and you get caught in a blockade or anything like that, you're going to be attacked and killed. They will no longer fail you for that. They fixed the bug with a number of corvettes carried by the corvette loading system of the CV3000. It was displayed incorrectly, and they fixed the bug that caused fleets to be stuck en route. There was a few changes that are really good for the quality of life stuff and the actual gameplay stuff. That's good. They're going in the right direction. There's still nothing on the pathing, as I said earlier. I'm hoping that we're going to get some sort of word on what's going to be happening with the pathing sometime soon. I guess the devs are maybe hoping that we give up on the actual pathing itself and just deal with it. We'll have to see what happens. Let me know down below if you enjoyed the changes, if you think the changes are good, what changes you do and don't like. And that's it for this week's patch note. Hope you found it useful, fly safe, and avoid local chat scams.